91 plus 23, 114. But I like preaching on the fact, like human is so obvious, like because it provides 2 plus 2s and 2 plus 1, so it just maintains the parallels. And then skeleton was a majority plus 2, which points to Christ. Okay. Human, skeleton, Christ had it, and he's sovereign over science, modern day. Your teeth. Alright, so pelvic girdle, the coccyx, a lot of 3s. Every letter go for 3. The sacrum, I'll just quickly remind myself what that is. 75, find love, pop off. Oh, find love in the sacrum, there it is right there. Done. Okay, that's pretty simple. It's pretty easy. Femur. Narcissus metacarpals. Cervical, lumbar, thoracic. Cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Thoracic, lumbar, and then sacral. Let's see, plus 1, plus 2, plus 1. Spells right. Sacral equals love. Okay. Find love in all of them. There's your love right there, and pretty easy. So there's another love right there. Lumbar. And there's another love right there. Okay. What else do we want to do here? Oh, backbone. Backbone is a great set of letters to glorify Christ. When you talk about someone's technos, oh, they have backbone. Christ. Look at the Christ in backbone. This is very glaring. This is so cool. Backbone is such a unique set of letters. Look at that. That's so cool. Backbone. That's just flawless. Backbone for Christ. It's minus 24. There's your 1 plus 1 that corresponds with the S. I can't resist. Like the backbone. Like sometimes it's the simplest common terminology on the lips of men. And the funnest words to say. Like, yes, you can call it your vertebral column. But how many people take the time to say that? Backbone. Like backbone is just so much stronger and cooler and faster to say. It's like, it's your spine, man. Your backbone. So check this out. And it's offsets of 6s. So I'm going to shoot component-wise for this. So put Christ. Christ is the king of the backbone. So Christ, it's amazing. So Christ on the cross, you know, the backbone was lined up with the cross. It's amazing. So S over A is 18. I'm shooting for 6s. That's the obvious starting place because there's only 1 plus 1 in each component. And then there's 2 plus 2s here that correspond with the 5 plus 2s here. So let's shoot for 6s. So a T is greater than an N by 6. Bang. An H is greater than a B by 6. Bang. We're solving your backbone for Christ. Do you have backbone as a man? It's like you need to talk about Christ. Christ is your spiritual, here's your back. So we've counted for these fellows. I'm just going to clear out. Ben is 21, but I just want to, yeah, and actually they need to go together. Ben will be a 21, but we always want to maintain offsets. So this is so cool. So an I from an O, let's peg those off. This time it's minus 6. An R at the top of Christ, you might as well just mention, is a multiple of 6 all by itself. You can throw that down. And then the rest is just sitting there. A C equals a C. So I must have, wait, a T to an N was 6. An H to a B was 6. Yeah? that went down 6, that went down 6, yeah, that was down 18. And I went, yeah, up 6, and then R was 18. And then, what did I say? Yeah, it's 24 points less. So something, KB 15, K plus a B is 13. Oh my, well that's so cool. This is mind-blowing. So this R equals this 18 right here. A KBE equals 18. That's just awesome. So, you know, you can just mention, yeah, so this was a minus 18 unto itself. And then the C equals the C. Like if you want to just throw those 3's in there. But all accounted for in gorgeous 6s to make the grand total of Christ is over your backbone. So that's amazing. It's like wham. That glory to Christ for the word backbone. There you go. Backbone solved for Christ. Done. Done. It's your backbone. The simplest way. The backbone. Spine parallels Jehovah. Pairwise 3's from the inside out. Find love in it. It's wrapping around. In fact, the love you find in spine is identical to the love you find in sacrum, which is the bottom of the spine. Amazing. So there's your love in spine and sacrum. Love. Vertebral column is dripping with love. That's what I see there. We saw VE half love, TEB half love, MN half love, LO half love. It's just silly. Axial skeleton is Jesus Christ. That's huge. Axial skeleton. We solved axis yesterday for Jesus. We solved skeleton for Christ. Axial for Jesus. 27 off. Oh my. This is going to blow your mind. How Jesus Christ owns the axial skeleton. This is going to blow your mind. Because the axial skeleton is like the center. Like we've been led to go to the center of things. I have no idea why this is failing to. Axial skeleton. Like this is like the center of a human being. It's called the axial skeleton. It consists of the bones of the head and trunk of any vertebrate. Now, Jesus owns every vertebrate. Okay, that's good to mention. Would you choose vertebrate parallels Christ de facto? Why don't we solve every vertebrate? Like, let's just keep going higher here. We are a vertebrate. Christ owns every vertebrate. That is 23 plus 16. That is 39 points higher than Christ. Okay. Here's your 1 plus 1. Here's your 2 plus 1s. There's a slew of plus 2s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Corresponding with those. And then the rest of the letters divide by 3. Okay. You can complete that one for homework. I can't resist the fact that you find love at the center of Christ. And there's a lot of love in a lot of places in vertebrate. In fact, I'm going to choose the VE like this just because it gets me a nice symmetrical painting here. And then a T is a T. And then the 2 R's divided by 3, and an EA is a double of 6. So there's a beautiful painting of love in Christ and vertebrate. You can study it more and you'll just get more. But the axial skeleton, composed of 6 parts: the skull bones, the ossicles of the middle ear, the hyoid bone. That's your Adam's apple, is it not? The rib cage, sternum, and the vertebral column. The axial skeleton, together with the appendicular skeleton, form the complete skeleton. Well, complete parallels Christ and skeleton parallels Christ. So complete skeleton, you're saying Christ, Christ. Axial skeleton, you're saying Jesus Christ. But this is like you. Oh, little old you. I regret that I didn't have it. It's you! It's you, man! Okay. So this is just ridiculous to me, though. I can't. Okay, let's get the appendicular skeleton. Hyoid bone. The Adam's apple. It's called the Adam's apple. Okay. Lingual form. Fascinatingly, this is such an wow. The Latin. Everything is a treasure here. The Latin screams out Jesus. Os hyodium. And then these are all the same offsets, so you can study how they knit together with the English. They're all different plus ones. Just like Adam's apple is plus one, so that's an obvious correlation. So I would like to quickly look at the appendicular skeleton. Alrighty then. Oh, it's so nice, girl. Yeah. Okay, I think we're feeling pretty good about this. Axial skeleton. The offset from Jesus on axial was minus 27. And then the offset of skeleton from Christ was plus 27. Or from Jesus it's plus 27. So if you looked at Jesus, axial is, if you went Jesus, axial skeleton is minus 27, plus 27. Pretty glaring, okay, that's obvious. What's at the front of the axial? I believe it's the sternum, isn't it? Ah, there we go, the center of you. So you have your backbone and your breastbone. Let's take a quick look. Oh, this is good. I like comparing, like, backbone for Christ was amazing, and breastbone. Your breastbone and your backbone. Like, that is so sternum or breastbone. Oh, glory. This is so glorious because both parallel Christ perfectly and succinctly. The sternum or breastbone. And then there's three parts which we can also study for the Trinity. Look at that. That is the center of you. Little old you. The sternum. Let's preach your sternum for Christ, you know, and then you can, most people wear a cross. This is so glorious. Most people wear a cross around their neck that would hang right on top of the sternum. Okay? Or a t-shirt that has a cross on it to glorify Jesus at the center of the sternum. So, for the first time in world history, let us solve the sternum for Christ. Because it is flawless for Christ. So watch this. So, oh, this is the glory we've been waiting for. I mean, the whole thing has been a glory train, but there's always more glory to be waiting for. Okay, so feast your eyes on the sternum. Christ, a letter by letter. So this is the center of every human on planet Earth. Christ to the sternum. So this is how it works. There are 2 plus 1s in sternum. Ooh, I like the fact that it's front and back. So this will also parallel Jesus quite nicely. In fact, I see some stunning stunning correlation between sternum and Jesus. We will have to do both because I see a beautiful blend between both. It's very obvious. Like J and S plus 1 front and back, S and M plus, you know, I insist on creating maximum. And then a U occupies the same. But first and foremost, it's actually Christ. Because you have a majority of +2 offsets. Well, what's the difference? A T is a T. Let's just see the difference. So it's a difference from Jesus. It's a difference of +36, which is actually very tempting. So I'm actually looking forward to this, to finding the 6s between Jesus and sternum. You can feel it on your lips. There's a ton. Christ and sternum, there's a lot too. Both are going to be great. The offset between Christ and sternum is 26. So let's so there's 2 +2s in Christ. There are 3 +2s in sternum, and then 2 +1s, and then the rest divided by 3. But let's just do the simple thing. An ST is an ST, an R is an R, and now. Oh man, you could have done NM, RI, 27, 27. And C to a U, 18, and H to an N, 6. Yeah, let's round up this party with, so a C to a U goes 18, and H to an N adds 6, and then an E plus an M is another 18. What have I missed here? An H to an N goes up 6. A C up to a U goes up 18. And an E and an M. Oh, because Christ has the 9 on the top. There we go. That's what I forgot. So, there you go. So there's the letters that equal, and then here's the 3 offsets that I saw there. The H to the N was +6. The C to the U was +18. The I all by itself is 9 for Christ, and then this E plus this M is double 9 down here. There you go. So there is a lovely, excellent painting of the mathematical perfection of Christ, Lord over your sternum. So the grand offset is 27. Sorry, 33. Yeah, 33. 36. Let's just double check that. 3642 minus 933. Okay. So sternum literally equals, you can now write this, sternum equals Christ plus all men. Or sternum equals the Christ. Oh man, like there's a lot of shared letters between this, like, you know, Christ and then amen. Like that's really glaring. Like look at this equation. Sternum equals Christ plus amen. Look at that. I mean, there's your STR in Christ. And then there's your E and M in like the word men in amen. And then the rest just equals. The rest of the letters over here equal the U in sternum. That's pretty awesome. Glory to Christ. Christ plus amen. Or you can say the name of Christ is on the sternum. Okay, because amen equals name, same letters. Christ's name, name of Christ, is on the sternum. Or you can simply say sternum equals the Christ. Bam. And find love. There's, you know, TUM equals love. And sternum equals the Christ. Okay. Now, like I said, people typically will wear a cross around their neck and it will hang right there. So I feel led to mention that cross equals Jesus. So we can also do a comparison of someone that has a cross, is wearing a cross on top of their sternum. This is very common in world history. Someone would wear a cross that fits, that hangs perfectly over top of the sternum. Okay. But let's do Jesus' sternum, because this is irresistible. A U is a U. An E is an E. Like this is really gorgeous. And then the N plus the T, I can't wait to get the offsets on the table for this. And N plus the T is 34. Well, that differs from 19 by 15. And then you get another R on that. There's another 33. But from a J to an S was 9. From an S to an M was minus 6. And then there was an 18 for the R all by itself. And then from an S to a NT was a 15. So that the net offset there was 27 was supposed to equal 30, isn't it? 36, pardon me. Is that correct? 33. Yeah, there it is. Jesus. Sternum. Jesus. Sternum. Jesus. Sternum. Jesus. Sternum. And then put the cross over the sternum. An S is an S. An S is 6 over an M. An R is an R. A C is minus 18 from a U. Oops. And then net is 39 versus a 15, 24. Wow. So there's the gorgeous sixes that I was looking for. I did it kind of the minuses in reverse order there, but so a cross on top of the sternum, minus 36 is whatever, these should be pluses really, but yeah, because that's what I did up top there, so let's just be consistent with it. Okay, so we solved the sternum for Jesus and Christ. Now there's 3 parts. And then breastbone. Oh yeah. Breastbone. Oh my gosh, breastbone. Oh my gosh, that's so glaring. Look at this. Breastbone equals 101. And sternum equals 110. Glory to Christ. And so those numbers differ by 9. I couldn't resist. I love doing this. Christ over top of your breastbone. Shoot for, just grab the equivalences. Bang, bang. And then the overall offset is 24. So we're shooting for 6s once again. Again, 6s. So, yeah, I just want to like get maximum 6s here. So an I to an O, breastbone gets 6 points. An H to a B, that cancels by being minus 6. I've kind of chosen the simple route here. You can do multiple things, like a B plus an E and an E is 12 points, and then an A and an N offset with a C is another 12 points. And there's your flawless 24, plain and simple. Very, very obvious. Christ in the breastbone. Now let's look at the flat bone shaped like a necktie, located in the center of the chest. Center, Christ. And the word chest, don't be deceived. I mean, the word chest is screaming out Christ, because, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. God is the God who hideth himself. Don't just be turned off by the offset thing. I mean, look at the obvious. Chest is called the chest for Christ. Okay. Chest is the chest for Christ. And then, E is the third prime. Look at the E is the third prime. I is 3 times 3, and R is a double that. Like, just state the obvious about the chest. It starts and ends with Christ, And then at the center is 3 times 3 plus a double of that. So at the center of Christ is 3 times 3 times 3, and at the center of chest is E, which is 5, which is the third prime. So at the center of chest, third prime. 3 times 3 times 3 is center of Christ. Everything else matches. Okay, so the Trinity and Christ together are maximally glorified in the center of your chest. Bang! And at the center of your chest is the sternum. So we're in this real gold zone here. The real hot spot, as they say. So that's why we're taking so much time here. The center of the chest. And like I said, center, of course, parallels Christ. We've talked about that a million times. Again, it's all sets of 6. Like, I just can't resist. Like 6 letters, like 6 days of creation, Christ at the center. It's like 6s galore, offsets of 6. Christ to the breastbone, Christ to the center. A C is a C, and R is an R. And then, good night. It's just embarrassing. Then what's left over on the top of Christ is 36. And what's left over on the bottom of center is, of course, 24. So the overall offset is 12. Amazing. You can. Okay, so what else? It connects to the ribs. Rib is a single rib glorifies Christ. I love central. Rib parallels the word root, parallels the word foot. Okay, and loot. Christ is the root, the foot. He's the loot. He's the treasure. All these words have pure 3s in front, ending in a hard +2. Okay, the root, the foot, the loot, the boot. Even, but Christ rib. How is Eve formed? To the glory of Christ from a single rib, and that's very obvious because the RI is at the center of Christ. The B is the +2 at the end. Again, it's offsets of 6s, folks. This is amazing. So compare Christ to a single rib. This is so glaring. So from a T to a B, Christ wins by 18, 666. And RI is an RI half love, 3 times 3 times 3. And then there's another 3 times 3 times 3 flanking that right here, Very obvious. And then the C adds 3 to this party. So that's another 60. So the overall bonus of Christ over top of rib was 18 there, plus 30. Multiples of 6 again. So Christ is 48 points higher than the rib. But semantically and everything, Christ owns every rib. Okay? And there you have it. And then when you say they are Christ's ribs, both words divide by 3 nicely to the glory of the Trinity at large. 96 up there, 48 there. Good night. Good night. A literal double. Good night. This is literally 48 plus 48, 96. So whose ribs are they, class? Whose ribs are they? This doesn't need an apostrophe. Whose ribs are they? They are Christ's ribs. My ribs were created by Christ. They were designed by Him. They belong to Him. Eve was created from a rib from Adam's side to the glory of Christ. Amazingly, the name Eve in 3 letters, just like rib, parallels Christ. Okay, what is the offset of Eve to Christ? Is 45. Eve is minus 45, and rib was, wow, like 3 points different. Look at that. Look at how obvious that is. It's all 3s. And then, of course, rib was minus 48. Isn't that glaring? But it's all for Christ. Eve. Okay, from the rib, good stuff. And then, of course, Adam plus Eve knit together to make a multiple of 3 to glorify the Trinity. And that's why I felt led to mention that you have multiple ribs and Christ's ribs. And genius. Okay, I'm loving this. I'm just having a curious thought. You know, the word Adam parallels Father, just like the first member of the Trinity. And the word Eve parallels Christ, and Jesus, the second member of the Trinity. It's very interesting to me. You know, the difference between Adam and Father is, what is it? 39. And then from Eve to Christ it was 45. Okay. Yeah. Alrighty. That's just planting a seed in my mind. Okay, it's good. It also connects the ribs via cartilage, forming the front of the rib cage. 45 threes. So the entire rib cage threes, and thus helps to protect the heart, lungs, and major blood vessels from injury. The sternum consists of 3 regions: the manubrium, the body, and the xiphoid process. The word sternum originates from the Greek meaning chest. So we solved chest for Christ. And then I even have my Greek calculator hooked up. There's a ton of 3s in there. Just make sure I'm grabbing that, yeah. Sternon. 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 Third prime times 31. Obvious 3s there. Yeah, that's amazing. Sternon in Greek is third prime times 11th prime. Chest in English is third prime times 11 exactly, and those numbers boil down to 3 by the law of prime, so that's cool. So I can't wait to solve the xiphoid process, because that is such a it's such a hilarious, awesome, unique name. Ossified is screaming out Jesus. It's like, I am ossified. I am like connected. An osteoblast. There's love at the front. Osteoblast. It's broken down by osteoclasts and osteoblasts. Oh boy. Well, let's just dig into this. Both the Greek-derived xiphoid and its Latin equivalent ensiform mean sword-like. Okay. Well, what does this whole thing come to? X marks the spot. Well, it equals holy, holy, holy. So, in the sovereignty of God, it divides by 3. Now that would be a plus 2 guy, Christ. That would also be a plus 2 guy, Christ. And then this is equals holy, holy, holy. And That's cool. And then ensiform is 99. Both have the hopscotch effect. Xiphotosis is 9981. This is 99 de facto. Find love in those. NMIR. Easy. The word process is Jesus perfectly. Xiphoid is similar. Okay, I'm satisfied with that. What are the other two ones? That'll give us a clue.